Should I take money out of my 401k for retirement income immediately and delay my Social Security payments, or should I take my Social Security at 62 and delay taking money out of my 401k for retirement income? That's what we're going to look at today on the Your Financial EKG YouTube channel. I saw this video and this article, and I thought this would be a really good example because I slightly disagree with the author, and I want to go through an actual example, a real life example for you to see how we actually help structure retirement income for clients. So let's go through the statistics and the data of this person, and then we're going to look at, should we take Social Security first or delay it? Should we use our 401k first or delay it? All right, and we're all looking at for retirement income. We're going to retire at 62, okay? Now, Social Security at 62 for this person is $1,200 a month, all right? Now, his Social Security at 70 is $2,125. So the discussion that we're having is, do I take Social Security at 62 of $1,200 a month, which would be 70% of his full retirement benefit? If he took Social Security at 67, it would be 100% of his full retirement benefit. And if he delays until 70, he's going to get 124% of his full retirement benefit for Social Security. Hence, while we're having the conversation, because he sees the benefit at 70 of getting $2,125 from Social Security. Now, this gentleman is single, so there's no spouse or partner or girlfriend. So it's just him. So his income, his retirement income, is on me, myself, and I. So when we're building out this plan, we have to make a decision that's going to be best for him. Now, he has to make a good decision on Social Security immediately. It has to be a strategic decision because Social Security doesn't give you do-overs. Now, let me rephrase that because somebody will leave in the comments, yes, they do. They do give a do-over. If you decide to claim Social Security at 62 and about 6 months later you go, oops, I made a mistake, I didn't want to make this decision, you have to pay back 6 months of your Social Security payments within a 12-month span, right? So you can only do this within the first year of claiming Social Security benefits. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to pay back anything to Social Security. So it makes the most sense to make the best decision right away. All right, so $1,200 at 62, $2,125 at 70. And we're going to look also, does it make the most sense to take it somewhere in between? Now, this gentleman's expenses on a monthly basis are $3,000, and we're going to look at a 3.27% inflation rate on these expenses, meaning the expenses are going to go up every year at 3.27%. And right now in assets, he has $500,000 in his 401k. So we're 62, we've got $500,000 in our 401k. We're asking the question, can I retire? How long will my money last? And where should I start structuring my retirement income? Social Security or 401k? Now, before we get into all that, I want to show you how easy it is to grow your retirement assets to $500,000. Because this gentleman did not work in some high-paying job. He actually was a skilled labor worker who worked hard and saved and had a budget and understood the power of compound interest. I say this all the time, God's greatest gift outside of Jesus is compound interest. And you're going to see this in his example. So we're going to look over a 30-year period. I'm going to start at age 30 and I'm going to go to age 60. Now you can plug in your age wherever you like. And I want to show you how much you have to contribute to get to $500,000 saved for retirement. So at age 30, we have zero in retirement savings. Nada, nothing. We're working a job and we want to know, how are we going to grow our retirement assets? Well, if you contribute $4,413 per year, on a monthly basis, that's $367 a month. If you contribute that every month for 30 years and you're able to get an 8% rate of return on your money, you'll have $500,000 at the end of that 30 years. Now, 8% is what the market has averaged over the last 50 years. Don't leave me any comments and say the market's not going to average 8%. It's not going to do. Listen, we've been through Great Depressions, presidential assassination, currency changes. We went off the gold standard. So all that stuff about everything else, don't leave me a comment about it. 8% is what we're going to average, okay, for the next 50 years. Market could go up 20 next year, could go down 40 the next year. It's probably going to average somewhere around 8%, okay? Now, keep in mind, this is without any matches, and this is no bonus or salary increases. So if this person were to get a match on this $367 going into his 401k, if he was to get a bonus or a salary increase, if he's self-employed or something, this is going to be a lot more. And keep in mind this, we're not talking about somebody who's making $150,000, $200,000 a year. We're talking about somebody who started out at about $40,000 and ended his career at about $65,000, okay? And we've grown our money to $500,000, okay? So let's look at the two scenarios. Should I take Social Security immediately and delay my 401k, or should I start taking money out of my 401k immediately and delay my Social Security? All right, let's look at a scenario for a 62-year-old gentleman asking the question, should I take Social Security immediately and delay my 401k for retirement income, or should I use my 401k for retirement income immediately and delay Social Security? You can basically ask this question, can I retire at 62 with $500,000 saved for retirement? Let's look at it, all right? We got two scenarios here. We want to take 401k first and Social Security at 70. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two is Social Security at 62, and we take money out of the 401k as needed. Now, so at 62, we've got $500,000 in retirement savings for both scenarios, okay? We've retired with $500,000 in retirement savings. Our expenses are $3,000 a month in both scenarios, all right? And we're gonna put a 3% inflation rate on our expenses. So inflation is gonna be 3% in both of these scenarios, meaning this $3,000 is gonna grow at 3% every single year, all right? Because you know, and I know, that if you shop at Costco, which I do, and lovely people who work at Costco or retire from Costco are subscribed to this channel, but that's where I like to buy my raspberries, because I'm a raspberry fan. Costco has a lot of other great things too, but I like raspberries. And they're more expensive today than they were yesterday. That's called inflation, all right? Now, samples on Sundays are pretty good as well. We're gonna look at a 5% rate of return for the money that's in the market, okay? So that means that $500,000 is gonna earn 5% every year. Now, obviously, if we earn 6, 7, 8%, this scenario is gonna look a lot better, but we're gonna be conservative in our approach for our projections, right? Currently, at the recording of this video, you can get some risk-free rates of 5.4%. Well, that's better than 5% and it's risk-free. But we're not going to project that out over a 30-year retirement because I don't know what rates are going to be in 30 years. So we have to use some sort of projection as a baseline, as a foundation, right? Jesus said, the man who builds his house on the rock, when the storms of life came, his house stood. I call the rock retire on confident knowledge. And that's what we want to do here. So this is our baseline scenario. So 401k, Social Security. Let's look at 401k first. So what we're doing is we're going to take the income from our 401k. So the $3,000 a month is going to come out of our 401k. We're going to start Social Security at 70. Or for 8 years, from 62 to 70, we're taking out $3,000 a month with inflation. 5% is our rate of return. At the end of 8 years, our $500,000 has gone down to $363 in retirement savings. At 70, we've got $306,000 in retirement assets. At this point, it's probably rolled from a 401k to an IRA. So we've got about $306,000 in pre-tax money. Keep in mind, the $500,000 is pre-tax in this scenario. There's no post-tax money. So this $3,000, we're taking taxes on that over and above as well. And that's something you've really got to think about. When you're building out how much retirement income you need to look at it based on the buckets of money that you've got. Do I have pre-tax money like IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, TSPs? Do I have post-tax money? Roth 401ks, Roth 403bs, Roth 401ks? Do I have non-qualified money? That's a brokerage account, an individual account, a bank account, a CD. How is my money taxed as it's coming to me? Because that's going to affect your plan. Because in this scenario, just if we take the taxes out of it, it actually lasts about a year or two longer. That's a year or two of income based on taxes. So it's really important for you to understand what's the tax structure within your retirement income plan. So at 70, we've got $306,000 in IRA money. Our expenses now have gone to $3,944. Okay, so this is our monthly expenses with inflation. Our Social Security's kicking on at 70 of $21.25. So this is the 70, and this is 124% of our full retirement benefit. Okay, so this individual has said, I'm going to wait till 70 to delay my Social Security. The reason we're looking at this is because he's single. We're trying to push out his Social Security as long as possible because it's a guaranteed COLA'd retirement income stream. Now, I know that Social Security is going to have some issues over the next few years they're going to have to look at, but right now, Social Security is guaranteed and it has a COLA. Take that for what it's worth, right? So he needs $1,819 out of his 401k or his IRA still. And he needs that on a monthly basis. So we still have to take money out of our IRA and 401k because Social Security is not enough with our expenses because our expenses have had inflation. So at 80, we have $103,000. So after 10 years, we've gone from 306 to 103, and we're at zero at 83 years old. Keep in mind, a lot of times when you see videos on this kind of subject, this is really why I wanted to put this one out there, they assume that your Social Security is going to cover all your expenses. And I'm like, well, that's not how it works in the real, I mean, maybe in Disney World where they've got pixie dust, that's how it works. But here in Tampa, like in the real world, our expenses are growing with inflation, and Social Security, even though it has a COLA increase, normally is not enough. And so we have to use other retirement assets for retirement income. Okay? So that's what we're looking at here. Now he's out at 83. Now here, let's kind of say he's going to be okay. All right? Let's go to scenario number 2. And then we'll kind of put all this together for you. So this scenario, we're taking Social Security at 62, and we're going to use the 401k as needed. So we've got $3,000 in expenses. $1,200 is our Social Security, and this is at 62, so this is 70% of his full retirement benefit. Okay? So $3,000 is our expenses, $1,200 is our Social Security. We still need $1,800 a month from somewhere to live, right? We still got to pay the light bill. We still got to go to Publix, Walmart, buy our food. So this has to come out of the IRA or 401k, whatever vehicle that is in at this point. Our rate of return is 5%, inflation's at 3%. From 62 to 72, we have $441,000 at 72. Now check that out. Over here, delaying Social Security, at 70, we had $306,000. At 72, 2 years later, taking Social Security immediately, we had $441,000 at 72. So we're out in front taking Social Security early. So, you know, a lot of times you read these articles on Forbes or on whatever, and they're like, hey, delay Social Security, delay Social Security. You better delay Social Security. You're an idiot if you don't delay Social Security. That's what somebody put in the comment section the other day. I don't know. That seems like a better number there. It's about 100, let's just say 140,000 in round numbers, right? $136,000 higher. That's pretty good, and 2 years later. Okay, so now our expenses at 72 have grown to $4,206. Our Social Security now is at $1,548. Remember, it gets a COLA increase as well on it. 72 to 82, we go from $441 to $132. So at 82, look at this. We're about $32,000 higher at that point, but we're out of money at 85. So we're able to make this scenario work an extra 2 years because we took Social Security early. Now, let me say this. When we do this on the board, when we put a baseline scenario on board, we go from here to the financial EKG software because we want to make sure that we're accounting for everything that's going on in this gentleman's life. There's two things we're not accounting for here. The software, when I run it through the Social Security maximization software, it says that 63 is the most optimal time for him to take Social Security. Not 70, not 67, not 64 or 66, 63. We want to know what's the most optimal time for you taking Social Security. So 63 for him. He also has a home, and that home is going to continue to grow as an asset. And so eventually he could sell the home, do a reverse mortgage, downsize, sell it and rent somewhere. So we have other assets. He's going to be okay. But I wanted you to see the difference between these two so you can say in your mind, it's okay if I take Social Security at 62. It actually works out better. It's got to be based on you. Your decision based on your retirement, not some pundit or somebody writing an article, not even me, based on your individual situation. I hope this has helped. God bless. Bye-bye.